Hello, fabulous fans and superstars of my dear friend Nadiya Shah. I am Yuriria Robles and I wish you a very happy 2025. Welcome to the predictions for each sign for the month of January 2025. Remember to check your sun sign, your ascendant, and your moon sign so that you have a more complete prediction. Capricorn, congratulations. This is your first birthday after 16 years, free from the presence of Pluto in your sign. You achieved a great transformation. Now, with that strength and in this new year, you have the task of focusing on your values, resources, and ways to make money. Everything depends on your discipline to communicate. You have always been sensible and mature. Then you can contain the drama with your brothers, sisters, cousins, and neighbors. Have confidence in yourself to solve everyday problems, no matter how small they are, because the work you achieve in yourself and your resources depends on it. If you attend to them, you will feel free and with your duty fulfilled. The month begins with a tense dialogue imposed by the Moon-Pluto conjunction, both directed by Saturn, meaning that for the moment we must be sensible, measured, and willing to participate in a group. Both are in exact opposition to Mars, which means a work of action and confrontation, establishing a power struggle that proposes interaction between the individual and the group in a balanced manner. The leader, in addition to acting creatively, must consider the group, who must show intelligence and discipline to control their obsession with the new. The strength is in the dialogue. In all honesty, it will be a challenge, because with this dialogue we can find a refusal to negotiate feelings or hidden to then explode with the Plutonian force. We must recognize what helps us and what prevents us from agreeing with others. The sooner we do so, the greater the transformation that the exact opposition with Mars points out to us. Meaning, we can avoid power struggles for prominence, leadership, and the demand to conform to what is established. It is not a minor task, and please do not shy away from confronting yourself first, because no confrontation, no matter how small or large, will be useful if we do not first review what we have inside. Let me explain. If we have a rejection to be part of the group, let us investigate if it was because of the way we were treated in the family group when we were small or young, or on the contrary, if we believed that we were special for being the smallest or the eldest or the unique one. We learn to survive in each case in that way, but now reality imposes the realization that it is about being individuals with conscience, that we cannot conform, nor can we demand that everyone do it our way. As Mars is in a period of retrograde movement, on the 6th it re-enters Cancer to move its dialogue towards the Sun in Capricorn, turning attention to the goals you want to achieve by protecting what others get security. This dialogue generates anxiety and tension because moving towards achieving goals implies leaving the past behind, and that is scary, especially on the 13th when the full moon occurs together with this Mars, strengthening the old values that got you to where you are, and you feel that the goals and paths to improvement put you at risk or what has been achieved. This process will extend until April, and only then will we return to the dynamic that was proposed on January the 1st, allowing a leadership that is capable of moving the group towards the future with discipline and intelligence. With the nodes of the moon, a mystical rectangle is formed, a figure that results from the distance between the moon, Pluto, Mars, and the nodes, the lunar nodes. Whenever these points are involved, it is about relationships with others. This is the last month that they are in Aries and Libra, which has required an effort to negotiate between what can and want to do and how we agree to negotiate with others. This rectangle indicates that what we achieve in this task is determined by destiny, that if we achieve it, that is, act with balance, it will be useful now and forever. And if we do not achieve it, We will lose an opportunity, but not the learning. We will see the consequence of our actions. The year begins then with this disciplined transformation. We owe it to ourselves and to others. Of course, the lack of coherence is to go to court not against who did it to me, but against who pays it, without resolving anything. The moon will move to the aspect of Pluto to Mars, will impose its dialogue for at least the first 5 months of the year, since Mars will still return 20 degrees to 17 degrees of Cancer, and it will take all that time for this requirement to be concluded. Although in February, March, we will feel a break, for April and May we will go back to review what we learned just now, what we achieved in living with others. In particular, for you, Capricorn, the opposition of Mars to Pluto proposes you review what you produce and what your society and partner contribute. This situation must be balanced because your nature is to maintain leadership and value the group, but you can receive the creative contribution of your partners or partner and allow everyone to imagine how resources could increase for all parties. Not just you. It is among all that resources will be best conserved, and not only that, but they will be multiplied in the lack of coherence. If you allow confrontation due to a question of power struggle, everyone will lose. On the other hand, don't be afraid to create with technology, wanting to be free of gadgets, or it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it also multiplies your proposals, and that complicates your existence. For this reason, give yourself the opportunity to heal or learn how to better use AI and all technology in a creative manner. Even if you feel that for now very strange things are coming out, it won't be like that later. Humanity is going down that path anyway, not just you. There's no way to avoid it. It is through learning about new things that you will feel better at home, sharing what you learn and discover, avoiding focusing on what cannot be done due to imprudence or inactivity or physical limitations. Open your consciousness to new ways of understanding your origins and inherited beliefs so that you can assimilate their lesson and leave behind the wound and frustration. Let us look at Saturn's condition. For now, it is in a tense dialogue with Jupiter, which indicates a conflict between what we say we want to do and what we can actually do. Above all, because of what we said or were told last month with Mercury's retrograde. It is very important to be realistic and at the same time allow the circle of communication, that is, to listen and to talk, to recognize what is possible and what is not. Remember that Saturn and Jupiter are causing a tense dialogue for now and demanding that you risk talking to more people, but remember, free of drama, manipulation, and victimization. In reference to love, Venus is ending its passage in Aquarius, but on the 3rd it will move to Pisces, where its energy is expressed gently, imposing its logic of romance and idealism in the area of your siblings, cousins, and neighbors, basically in your daily environment and your communication. You will thus face the challenge of commitment because on the 18th you reach Saturn and establish a harmonious dialogue with Mars, emphasizing with this love for the past and at the same time the love for the new. Because Uranus imposes a brief harmonious connection towards the end of the month, when on the 28th Venus reaches the degree to which it will return in its retrograde period in March and April. On the 29th, it reaches Neptune in Pisces, and the North Node also enters these signs. So all this means a great idealization, a longing for love and desire that surpasses all that is imagined. On the non-coherent side, it means a great sacrifice and detachment from reality. Above all, in the area of your home and the people who live with you, it prepares you for an opening to love and ideal coexistence, overcoming the wounds of the past. Of course, it imposes sacrifice, but in the end, Your faith in loving commitment will be renewed. This movement to Pisces is emphasized by the North Node, which will remain in Pisces for 18 months, with its counterpart, the South Node in Virgo. This change affects relationships that will insatiably seek this idealization that is natural to the North Node in Pisces, but will be considerably enhanced by the Venus-Neptune conjunction. The objective of this configuration is to re-establish faith in love and in the ideal, but it brings the stamp of impatience because it goes towards an inferior conjunction of Venus and will end in a long conjunction with Saturn, which is where it started, bringing the love affair to reality. Growth and order are configured by Jupiter in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces. This supposes a conflict of possibilities, especially in the work area and in daily communications. The dilemma is to change or continue as is, and Mars in Cancer is emphasizing the attachment to the past. On the other hand, Pluto, for its part, imposes its orientation towards the future, which makes the choice even more tense and complex. The dilemma is to take a risk or deny yourself an opportunity. Reconciling this is the work. This is a process that will be in effect until mid-year. The full moon on the 13th is in your opposite sign and involves a balancing act between what you consider safe and what you consider partner wants to protect. Everyone is aware of the risk involved in moving towards something better, and in the company of Mars, the demand is greater. You would like to free yourself, but the fear of hurting is also a consideration. It is certainly an effort, because for more than a week, the energy will demand a balance between all the parts. Choosing only one of them will not be comfortable for you. The smartest thing is to give everyone a voice. Recognize that it hurts to move and it hurts to stay. But life is movement, and you have to move forward, of course. On the 13th, when full moon forms in Capricorn, it does so in conjunction with Mars, which emphasizes the confrontation with Pluto that we have been pointing out. Therefore, taking care of security should not distract us from our goals. Because if we do not risk changing, improving ourselves internally, and we hide by protecting what we know, we will lose progress and the purpose will not be fulfilled. On the other hand, risking everything by losing security is not advisable either. So balance is necessary, not only during this day, but the following week, from the 13th to the 21st of the month, when the Sun will join this dialogue. Neptune allows us to imagine how improvement would be possible without losing security. Perhaps we can sacrifice some things, situations, or relationships in search of progress, realizing that they are really a burden or a comfort zone and that we can no longer stay in the same place or in the same situation. Then we can be honest and use diplomacy and elegance to say goodbye to the old and strive to reach the new. As I said at the beginning, it involves an exercise in discipline, effort, and willpower, above all to reach the desired goal. Now let us remember that belonging does not mean adjusting or conforming to what others say or want. It is about offering the best of ourselves and negotiating with others. If they do not want to, then that is not the place. And on the other hand, accept what others are and offer. If you do not want, then there is no obligation to stay, but by accepting, each and every one obtains responsibility for their actions, fulfilling their obligations, maintaining a creative attitude in the group. Even through Uranus, we have the willingness to change the custom and the old. Mercury, in its passage through Capricorn, also focuses on the goal, but even with this, we can insist on the fear that it gives us losing what we have gained. Even if it means improvement, it is wanting to put on new shoes without taking off the old ones. By the full moon on the 29th, you will be in a different condition because you will find ideas and intelligent people who will give ideas to work with your resources and your values. The challenge is to communicate this to your brothers, cousins, sisters, and neighbors so that they can help you. With the passage of the nodes to the Pisces Virgo axis, you have 18 months to understand your own and others' feelings without falling into demands or dramas. On the 29th, the new moon will be preceded by Pluto and Mercury, which reinforces the sense of renewal in the groups to which we belong, in hopes, in the ideologies, and above all, in what we consider intelligent. Just at that moment, Mars receives all the support to find reasons and feelings to preserve what is valuable, and with this, we will feel strong to defend our beliefs, policies, and tastes in an orderly and sensible way. This contradiction between the group in Pisces and the group in Aquarius makes action difficult for us. On the one hand, it awakens rebellion, and on the other, the wound of acting at the wrong time or without success. The essential thing in terms of relationships is to accept that we must communicate without falling into drama, manipulation, or victimization. But the obligation now and for the 18 months is to understand feelings, our own and those of others. Analysis will not be in fashion, but we must try to take them into account nevertheless. The path to resolution is long and goes in this direction. First, let us give space to the new, asking ourselves what we want to free ourselves from. Then, let's review what is truly valuable, inspire us, and has a special value in our heart. Let us make the decision to act with discipline and then remember our purposes and goals. It is with all this that we understand that changing is for our own good. Neither foolishness nor drama helps us at this time. To end the month, the emphasis is on Aquarius. It helps us to be intelligent, but let us remember that we are beginning to revalue reasons and facts. However, no matter how high our intelligence is, it cannot isolate us through arrogance. It is rather to teach, to communicate to others, to suggest new paths and solutions, not to impose them by force, even if it is Pluto. Let us choose the path of transformation. Let us avoid the path of imposition.